for a number of years, people have said, you've got to deal with it structurally. That part of the State House is in need of repair. My only dilemma is that it really should be done, in my opinion, in the second term of a governor. To have a governor come into office and have disarray as you're getting settled is not a desirable thing.
Whoever the new governor is, it's not going to be fun not being able to move into the governor's office. And frankly, it's a peculiar form of financing to get this done. We did the last Statehouse renovation, I think, when I was governor, and it came out of the legislature. And it was a legislative side, and it was joint Republicans and Democrats came to me and sort of lobbied me that they wanted to get it done, and we figured out the financing together, and the thing was done and done well. But this supposedly, the way they're financing it, instead of costing $300 million, it may cost over $700 million by the time you put all the interest in the financing. And we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't just be adding to the state's debt that way.
Do you think Economic Development Authority funds should be used for this project, Governor Florio, or is this a way around legislative and voter action?
Well, it's a clever way around. It probably is legal to do it this way. But the question of leasing is going to be, in other words, the state will not be making bond payments. They'll be making lease payments to the EDA. They're making bond payments. So again, it's clever, but maybe just a little bit too clever.
Would the public have voted in favor of doing this?
These are not the easiest of times. Getting approval at the statewide basis would not be an easy thing to do. And so we're making the best out of a bad situation.
What would be a solution?
I think I've got a certain amount of faith in the people. I mean, they've approved, in my experience, common sense things, and they've very seldom turned down stuff that's the right thing to do for the state. And I think if you'd put it in a ballot, and you could have gotten responsibly the leaders of both parties in Trenton to support it, I think the people would have bought it. And it would have, if I'm right, it would have cost less than half the money to do it that way. And so I think we should have tried it that way.
All of the years that you spent in the governor's office and the places that you might have sought out, places that you really enjoyed, share those with us.
Well, I like the little back office. I'm not sure, different governors have used the facilities differently. There's a back office that is very private, off of the main area. And then the other thing that was interesting was Press Row. Press Row has been diminished somewhat dramatically as the press coverage has been diminished. But that always used to be a nice place to go up and walk around and see the different offices and talk to people. I mean, I remember stories that Governor Hughes in different days would actually go to Press Row and play cards with some of the people there. I mean, those days are gone.
Smoke cigars too?
Smoke cigars, I guess, as well.
Those days, I think, are gone for sure.
I'm sure.
And Governor Kean, what about you? Was there a particular spot that you would seek out for solitude?
Well, I enjoyed the kind of spaces that Jim was talking about, but I love the Assembly chamber. I'm a guy of the Assembly. I didn't really
like. You were
the
Speaker.
I didn't like the House of Lords, which is the Senate down the I like the House of the People, and the Assembly was a great chamber, and the debates that went on in the Assembly were really the kind of debates you'd want to go on in a democracy in a state, and we'd have all sorts of people represented, all sorts of parts of the states. They'd be up there saying their point of view and representing their constituents, and there were some wonderful, wonderful debates in the Assembly that represented, I think, the best of this democracy in New Jersey, and I loved those, and I liked that hall.
And the space under the Assembly chambers where the caucuses met. Obviously, I'd go to the Democratic caucus, Tom would go to the Republican caucus, but there were some interesting times when people were really at each other, and a lot of nice recollections about that.
Can you share one?
No.
And there are tunnels, as you know, underneath all that. So you could, without the public or the press knowing it, you could get underneath from the caucus rooms, wind your way around the basement and end up in the governor's office when the governor wanted to see you without anybody knowing you were actually there, including the press corps. So it's a wonderfully fashioned State House.
Thank you very much for looking back at your days in the State House and commenting on the renovation project.